By the way, did I explain myself on the narrative of tribalism? Did I make sense?
So what I'm wondering is, if we Gen Zs don't understand the mountain narrative, how are you going to engage us and find a way to position yourself or position these politics beyond one term and beyond the defense of Mulima? And by the way, I'm not embarrassed to be Kikuyu. I'm from Kirinyaga and Nyeri. You know, you can't get Kikuyu than that. You know, I'm very Kikuyu, but we have, you know, but that's just the truth. How are you going to convince us? Because, you know, I'm trying to explain to you the way we see it, right? There is that pride, yes, you know, of being a Kikuyu. You know, but there is also a people who don't see that. And we as Gen Zs are saying we are tribeless and we are fearless. And the politics being done now is the way it was done 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, and that is what is really scaring us, because if we divide ourselves, if you say you're coming to the defense of Mulima, then there's someone in, I don't know, Rift Valley or Western who will also say they are going to that defense. And then there will be another group, I don't know, in, where? Coasts, yeah, we are going to that defense. And then now, there will be a vacuum gap, and then Ruto will become president.
I feel you. And the Gen Zs will help us deal with that nonsense, because they are tribeless, and they are fearless, and they want change. And nobody can intimidate them or coerce them. But before the Gen Zs help us to have that change, those communities that are targeted by Ruto for extinction must be protected. Because if they are not, there will be nobody to vote. So I hear you, and I understand the way you think, but I also want to tell you, at back home, the Gen Zs your age understand what's going on, because they are just there, and they are feeling it. They can see that persecution, they can see the discrimination, they can hear the talk, and they can see the way they are being targeted. Because when you go to Kahawa court of terrorism, and out of 100 people charged, 96 are from one area. In the cells, they talk among themselves and wonder what is happening. Yeah? So that is a situation that is there. And it behoves upon leaders, if a people are under siege, those people must be cushioned from destruction and from fear. Because if they become fearful, then the oppressor has succeeded. You see, people want to intimidate people into fear. The Gen Zs cannot be intimidated, but the rest of the population, they buy fear quite quickly. So we must keep on reassuring them, no. Nobody will target you, nobody will wipe you out, nobody will destroy your businesses, so that they feel comfortable and they are able to soldier on. You must keep on giving people assurances, especially where fear is being sold. Most of members of parliament are one term, but they cannot dare say because of fear. They cannot even go to a meeting where one term is being discussed because of fear. So you just find a few of them who are courageous. And that's where the Gen Zs now have become a movement, because they are fearless and they simply don't care. And it has even reached a place where I had to ask the Gen Zs, please, you have made your point. This guy has said you should be shot, and he's doing it. I'm requesting you, much as you are fearless, I need you to help me get the change. And for you to be useful, and for you to enjoy the change you desire, you need to be alive. And this guy is already killing you. So much as you are fearless, you cannot walk into death when you can see this is death, isn't it? So we have to blend that courage, that fearlessness, also with reality. And as a parent, as an elder, I also have a responsibility also to guide my children. Where I feel they are in danger, where I can see they can lose their lives, I have a responsibility, much as they are fearless, much as we need them to help us get the change that we desire. It will be responsible on my part as a leader to allow them to walk into death when I can see. So we continue balancing these things. It's a very difficult, delicate act, but we are getting there. So don't worry, my dear, things will be okay. I'll connect with some people so that we can work around what you are doing, and you are doing a good thing. Please continue with that advocacy, and that is the way to go. And I want to assure you, young girl, don't ask me what I'll do for you if I'm elected president or in the government that will form. I want you to come to be part of that government. We do it together. I want the Genzees to sit on the decision-making table so that they are part of the solution of Kenya's problem. I am also aware sufficiently that these Genzees who are pushing Ruto to the corner and is not sleeping. Once we are elected, if we don't measure up to their expectation, they will drive us out of town. Very furiously and with brutal efficiency. So the only way for us to be safe is to bring the Genzees on board so that if there is a backlash, we suffer together.